Positive thinking people. PTP. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night.
Oh, hello. Good evening. Welcome. It's date night, Friday date night. Here we are in the studio. Or July, what's this, July 29th? I think July 29th. And man, I tell you, so we just moving forward. I want to say happy birthday to everybody that's having a birthday right now. I was looking on Facebook just to find a few people's names to say happy birthday to them, and I only came up with two. Sherry Wooden, happy birthday to you, baby. And then happy birthday to Phyllis Harris' daughter, Brittany Harrison. Okay? Happy birthday to you. And if there's anybody else out there that's having a birthday, happy birthday. If you have an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. But guess what? More so, just happy life, you know? It's just happy life. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what's going on and how we moving and how things are happening. And I'm getting ready to introduce this beautiful black queen. I don't even know if I had to say it that way. She's just a beautiful queen in her own right, and she's just an amazing young lady who's here in the studio with me, Miss KAYLA Natural Bee. Hello, how you doing, sweetie?
Hi.
I am. Let me tell you something. I get so excited having you around me because of your energy. You're just an amazing young lady. I just love what you stand for and how you represent yourself. The knowledge, the skills. You're just an amazing young woman, and so you make us look good. You really do. So just welcome. I'm so glad you're here today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
You know y'all are like family. You know this is all love. So I'm happy to be here on date night. I'm happy to be here talking about love and life, and I'm just grateful for life. So I agree with you. Happy life. So I hope you all enjoyed this evening's segment and just celebrate with us.
Yes. Lady Z will be calling in a few minutes. She's up in, she's out of town right now, handling her business, doing some things, but she's going to be calling in. And but KAYLA, can you just tell a little bit more about yourself? I know this is not your first time being on the program, but this may be the first time some people are seeing you. So tell a little bit about yourself, please.
Sure. So I am a certified optimal breathologist. I am a life coach, a holistic and health and wellness somatic movement and energy healer. I also teach gyrotonic and gyrokinesis. I know a lot of these words are like, what? Well, we're going to get into it. I'm from the DMV area. My former life was as a professional dancer on Broadway, concert stage. I'm an arts educator, a community advocate, a leader. I recently worked on King Richard as part of the production team with Will Smith and the Williams sisters, and it was just an amazing time. And I'm back home and I'm continuing my creative pursuits, but more importantly, daily striving to let people know that living a healthy, happy, and whole life is something that is for everyone. It is simple, it is accessible, and that's why I founded the Beebody Marketplace. It is my health and wellness brand, and I started it after being diagnosed with a chronic facial pain condition. It's called trigeminal neuralgia, and the street name for it is actually called the suicide disease. A lot of people do not survive it, and a lot of people don't get out of bed in the morning or take the day. But God has a greater purpose for me, and it's not just for me, it's also to tell everyone that this life is so precious and it's worth living. And then the last thing I'll say is that I recently released an ebook called Everyday Wellness, and it provides those keys to holistic living and optimal health from my experience, my journey, my coaching, and so now I coach others. So that's me.
You really, I mean, you something else. You always give me this energy, and I would definitely say you're a wellness coach because of what you give off. Your energy is amazing. You know how some people can walk in a room and you just literally like something about them I don't like, but then you can have that person to walk in a room and they just like take your breath away. You are one of those individuals who just walk in and you make the room light up. And so I just say, God bless you, kudos to you. And what I love about you is that you always sharing that energy, and that's amazing. So I just want to say thank you for being you.
To God be the glory. I'm glad that I'm given the opportunity daily to be that breath of fresh air that people need, because there's a lot going on right now. We are still all recovering from the pandemic. We've lost people. We've lost ourselves. We're trying to recover. Dreams are still trying to be made realized. There's so much heaviness. But I am biblical, so I will have to say that it is God's will and promise for us that that burden be made light. And we are supposed to be light. So and there's just really so much messaging that's come through my life that I'm compelled to share. So platforms like this, Rodney, is the positive message and medicine that people need. So I just sending these blessings right back to you.
I thank you so much, and that's one of the reasons as I do this, and people to people, we are definitely in the market to provide information about feeling better, loving yourself. That's why we call it people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. We want you to feel that. And so I know that shortly Lady Z will be calling, but I want you to talk about your book a little bit. So
Sure.
share a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So the book is called Everyday Wellness. It's an ebook, so you can purchase this on everydaywellness.today, just like it's spelled, just like it sounds. And it is about 100 page book written by myself, and it comes with a short film about 45 minutes long of demonstrations on breathing, movement, simple chair exercises, and just encouragement. I filmed this in Grenada because I often travel to the islands. We'll talk more about this, but I often retreat away. I take persons on holistic wellness retreats to just help them return back to themselves, recharged. And so I wanted to bring this experience to people in a digital form where they can be right there in their home or find a sacred or quiet space. Purchase this for just $24.99. That's $25. That's the cost of maybe lunch for 2 people, and you will have this for a lifetime to just pour into you, life and wellness. Now, I in particularly wrote this for boss babes, but this really applies for everyone. So, who is the boss babe? The boss babe is that ambitious, zealot, busy, booked, ambitious woman, and that doesn't always mean CEOs. It doesn't mean that you're a manager all the time. You could be a mom. You could just be overwhelmed. You could be somebody that's in college that's saying yes to everything and you're just worn out. And I felt that, And I wanted to share something with everyone to tell them, hey, you don't have to stay burned out. You don't have to keep drinking alcohol and partying your pain. You can pardon and part with your pain and choose to be in a better position. And so I give you these keys, I give you these gems so that you can unlock yourself. There are journal prompts in here, there's positive affirmations in there. It's a true guide to starting your holistic wellness journey. Now, there are more books in me, but I had to complete this one and put this out there. It also comes with a free class. So a lot of this is just love. It's just an outpouring of love. I want people to get this information because there's so much messaging out there as to where we need to spend our time and our energy, but really what we need to do is spend more time with self.
And that was part of the reason why I wanted you to come on. We do have date night. We talked about, we have Motivation Monday. Let's talk about it Wednesday. But I was thinking about date night, and I was saying, something. It's a lot of us need to learn how to do certain things with our partners, with ourselves. That's going to embellish our lifestyles and our quality of life. And so after talking to you, I was like, yeah, it would be good to have you for all the individuals who join us on date night. This is the opportunity for you to get some very, very positive information from this young lady. I'm going to give you the number real quick. It's 703-752-6120. So please, if you feel excited and curious enough to call in, do so. Call in and say hello to Kayla and ask some questions. Again, this young lady is phenomenal. The things that she do and how she goes about things. Me and my wife, we follow her. We follow her consistently. When she go out the country, we know where she's at. And then you can probably, I'm trying to tell you, you might see her walking on the beach or standing on a mountaintop somewhere, embracing life. And that's what's so unique about you. And I just think that you are just really a phenomenal individual. And I really, really appreciate you that you are a part of the People to People family, because you are welcome here anytime. So, I want to make sure I say that publicly. But thank you so much for agreeing to come on. There's some people out there that's in relationships that possibly need to have some information. You definitely want to do that. That might be Lady Z. Let me see who this is real quick. Hello, caller. Can you state your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, this is Lady Z.
Hi. That's.
Hey.
Wait, is that my wife?
This is your wife. Hi, honey. And I see my beautiful, beautiful queen, Sister KAYLA B, in the house.
Hey!
Thank you. I'm so excited to have you back here again with us.
It is
and on date night. How awesome is that?
Yes. So, Lady Z, you just hang in there, stay on the phone. We're gonna let Kayla do what she do. Kayla,
all right.
you know how she do. She be coaching us all the time and giving us different things. So she was just talking about her book a little bit. And
I was listening. That's why I didn't call just yet, because I wanted her to put that info out there. Yes. So I'm excited. But let's not forget, it is also date night. So to all our loyal listeners, do not forget, we still need to know what you're doing, what you're having for dinner or lunch, who you're sharing it with, all that jazz. You know the deal. So let's not forget that.
That's right. So, again, that's one of the reasons why I was excited that Kayla was here. As we always take different pointers from some of the things that she does and how she go about doing things. So I'm just excited about that. So, I'm gonna kind of trigger Kayla to get her to keep giving us some information, because we got things we got to work on this with the breathing and the living and stuff like that, So
I need that breathing right now. Where I'm at.
This is amazing.
So talk to me, Kayla. Talk to me.
I love. So first of all, I really tiptoed on coming on a Friday. Ask Rodney, because I know this is a sacred time on Friday nights, your date night. So thank you for allowing me to share this space with you, and thank you for continuing to affirm love, particularly Black love. I'm going to be partial on that, because it deserves to be celebrated. Companionship, partnership. This is not something to take lightly, and we can heal each other. Marvin Gaye was not joking when he said sexual healing.
Yeah.
It is
right.
It's not just physical. And when you see couples like Lady Z, Rodney coming together, putting their passion project, elevating this platform, sharing this with others, it is an affirmation that everything that is as a thought and a dream can be manifest if you do it in love. So earlier, Rodney and I were talking about ego.
Yeah.
How it's so important for us to separate ourselves from ego so that we can really truly be available to people. And this goes in one and the same with partnerships and relationships and love. So when you set aside this date night out of everything that's happening, bills got to get paid, kids got to be taken care of, parents got to be checked on, all these things, you are saying we are a unit. Let's celebrate this. Let's not wait until a holiday. Let's not wait until something goes wrong. Let's stay at a meeting point and a meeting place where we can sit down and connect. We can lock eyes. We can share what's going on. Because number one thing in relationship is communication.
That's fun.
It's communication. Y'all know this very well. And I always like to talk about the 5 love languages. So I'm curious, what is your love language? I want to hear from both Lady Z and Rodney, and let me refresh everyone on what the 5 love languages are. It is physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving, and I always gift giving. What's the last one?
Well, I can't tell you, but I know I do it.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. All 5.
All 5. What would you say are your top 3?
You want to go first, ladies?
Well, I guess for us, communication is number 1 for us.
Oh! This is the 5th one, Lady Z. Quality time spent.
Right.
That we do.
Okay.
So I would say that communication is our number 1, though. Wouldn't you say, babe?
Yeah, and reason why I wanted something, because we were chatting in on the way to the studio. I knowing that we're apart. We were just I talked to Kayla in referencing. She was asking how are we dealing with being apart from each other, right? And I was telling her some of the things that I did that didn't go off very well, and how we communicated back and forth. And I said what was so funny, a couple of nights our tone toward one another was a little aggressive, but it was based on the fact that it wasn't because we were really mad. The problem is that we're not used to being apart from each other.
Yeah, I had anxiety separation. I was going through that the first week, so it caused my mind frame and my attitude to change a little, But I know it's because we really never been apart, so it was difficult in the beginning, and it still is. I'm just thankful that I get to come home on the weekends and we make up for that lost time.
Connection is so key. Connection is sometimes it's not even the things that you say or you do. Sometimes it's the things that you don't say and the things that you don't do that speak the loudest. And that's where as an optimal breathologist, the breath comes in. Whether you're just doing this by yourself, for yourself, or with your partner, you can set an alarm for a timer for 60 seconds, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes, if you just pick one word: love, peace, forgiveness, acceptance, growth, patience, compassion, focus, diligence, and you breathe that message into your subconscious, and then you breathe that message into your energetic body, and then you breathe that into your physical body, because it takes a couple of seconds, truly. I always tell people, when you're breathing, don't rush it, because it's going to take about 10 to 15 seconds for your body to register that you are calm and you're at peace and you're breathing. That's all you're doing. Ladies, he talked about separation anxiety. Separation anxiety and just anxiety in general is very real for people daily. If they feel like they cannot control something, the outcome, or what have you, that it forces us to just, our energy to go everywhere, our thoughts to go everywhere.
Yes.
And then sometimes we turn hot, sometimes the fingertips turn cold, some people shake, it can curb your appetite, your hormones can be thrown off, and all of these things are registering in your body, and then by the time you get to your partner, you're a wreck. And then they're looking at you like, well, what did I do to deserve this? I'm not getting the best of you right now. And they're automatically going to assume, okay, something's wrong. How can I fix it? How can I get involved? And this is a very simple thing you can do. Just set a timer together. If you're together in person, hold hands. You can lock eyes, or you can close eyes, hold hands, or make some kind of physical contact. If you're on the phone at a distance, just say, okay, we're going to do our breathing now. Let's focus on this word. Maybe we need to invite forgiveness. I said some things, you said some things. No amount of conversation about me telling you how bad it is or how hard it hurts or what have you can fix this. Let's just go to God. Let's just take this to a spiritual level and let's breathe.
That is awesome.
I know you are. I mean, I'm just sitting here like I'm. You know, you are such a blessing. I love being around you. I love being around you. And there's other people that I know that are like you. You are gifted. You are gifted.
Yes, she is.
Yes. So
Yes,
keep on. Go ahead. I just wanted to say that. That's almost like me just. I had to clap because I'm sitting here like just overwhelmed. Go ahead.
But. Am I making sense, Lady Z?
Yes, you are. As a matter of fact, it was bothering me so bad that I just had to. I had gotten into bed, and because I was still going through the anxiety separation, when I got off the phone with him, it started building up, getting worse, and I just had to breathe. I had to make myself stop and breathe. And I was just listening to, it was nothing going on. I had no TV on or anything. I was just laying there, just breathing. It was able to calm myself down by doing that.
What I was also sharing what happened was also because the other night, see, I don't want to perpetrate that we don't have our moments. We do. And so she was in her feelings, and I wasn't responding the way she wanted me to. And in reference, we talked about that. I block her out. But she didn't understand why I do that. I block her out so I can survive. Because if I let my emotions go, I'll be riding where she at 2:00 in the morning, trying to get down there so that I could just get cuddled up under her and rub her stomach like I normally do.
See, and we talked about, when you mentioned that, Rodney, we talked about how men and women think differently. I have been told this many times again and again. I'm just now starting to really click and understand that men and women think differently. Therefore, we're going to operate differently. But that is how we are wired. Yeah. Men are doers. They will pursue. We are feelers. We will absorb.
Yeah.
And so that's why, it's just so powerful. The coming together, the date night is powerful and it's sacred. It makes me think of that song, "Oh no, not I will survive.
Yeah.
Oh, as long as I know how to I got all my... Yes.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. She's affirming that reality because we feel what we feel very deeply as women. We feel it very deeply. We are deep intrinsic beings, and that's what also makes us healers. So we've got to learn to not self-deprecate when we are feeling that, but transfer it. Transfer it into creativity, make something beautiful, send that energy out of our bodies. Because if we do not, and this is for women all over, if you're in a relationship, close or distant, if it's just you and you're looking for a mate, maybe you're a widow, maybe you've just recently got your heart broken, I encourage you, when you feel these feelings deeply, you've got to find a way. You've got to find a way to transfer that energy out of your body. Why? Because if you don't, there's a saying, it will eat at you. What it's talking about is breast cancer, cysts in the wombs, headaches and migraines, sleeplessness, skin conditions, hair loss, early gray hairs, the list goes on. It will manifest in your body. And
yes, I believe that.
You don't deserve it. It's just simple as that. You don't deserve it. So find a way. And that's what Everyday Wellness, my book, talks about. Find a way to love and accept yourself so that you can transfer that toxins and that toxicity out and away for you. One, for you, and then two, so that when you're with your partner, they don't have to do so much work to read you. Men don't want to work to read us. I have learned that.
Yeah.
They don't. They want us.
Yeah.
The end.
I mean, literally, and one of the things that me and Lady Z, we have talked about on many occasions, I always tell her, learn how to read me. Learn how to read me so I don't have to go through a lot of drama, because I don't want to. I just want what I want when I want it, okay? She wants what she wants, but she wanted under a certain condition. She wanted to be served in a certain way. I'll take it on a hot plate or a paper plate as long as she give it to me. But but one of the things that I wanted to share with our viewers and to individuals who in relationships, and whether you work for yourself or not, you have to have that one time that you put aside that you can let everything go. So we picked a date night Friday. This was before we even started doing it out live, and we was doing it on the air. We was doing this throughout the whole relationship. We have what we call confession. Me and Zena do confession. Confession is that I can say anything I want to her if I say confession. She cannot get mad at me. She has to put herself in a receiving mode. So if I say, confession, the way that you talked to me the other day, I really didn't like it. And even with my tone, right? Because I said confession, she needs to now receive it and dissect it without responding immediately, so that she can say, you know what? Now I understand why you was like that. I'm sorry, boom, boom, boom. We go back and forth. But it's important.
Yes.
It's important for the communication part.
Yes.
Now, I want to go back to the question where you was talking about the 5.
Okay.
So you were saying, what was the main thing, right?
Yes. What is your go-to? Like, what just speaks to you when it comes to your love language and communication? Is it physical touch, acts of service, quality time spent, gift giving, or words of affirmation? Like, are you a talker?
But for me, it's action.
Action.
Like, she's in the kitchen cooking. I'll be all the way upstairs and I'll be like smelling the food, and I'll be like, man, she's having it cooking for me. I'll get up, come all the way down in the kitchen, then walk up and kiss her on the side of the cheek. And she'll look at me and start laughing. I would say, you look beautiful. She got rag on her head and some more stuff. and then she'll look at me and say, you so crazy. But I'll go back up, I'll go back.
Yeah.
But then what that does, it triggers it.
Yeah.
It triggers us to go into different things. So, what I believe in any relationship, what's really important besides communication, I believe that you must learn how to read your partner. you got to learn how to read your partner to understand when to shut up, when to hug them, when to put on the sexy pants or shirt or whatever. You know, when Zena first met me, I didn't have a stomach, right? So I can't put on this sexy shirt anymore and come down there and try to buff.
Switch it up now.
Now I got to switch it up. So what I do is I can put on the robe so that the robe cover up the stomach. But you know, but you got to do what you got to do, right?
What you got to do.
But those things are important.
Yes, I love that. So your go-tos are then going to be action. You like acts of service. You like to be there. You like to be present. And clearly, acts of service, your love goes to Lady Z, it goes to the community. I mean, just how you continue to show up and this platform and invite people out of the kindness of your heart and encourage people. That is an act of love that transcends and stays in that memory bank. It stays in the heart. It's simple. Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you say. They're not going to remember, but they will always recall how you made them feel.
Come on now. Yes.
That's not going anywhere.
Yes.
Feeling is important. Feeling is human. Feeling is what we all need to do. And with this mixed messaging that we're getting from society, from social media, etc., buy this, subscribe here, choose this, do that, you're insecure, let me help you. 5 ways that boom, boom, boom. You will never get that from me. Ever. It has to be a connection. But we need to feel. If you're connected to something that's not allowing you to feel, you need to disconnect. And I mean feel all the feelings, not just the good ones. Feel the feelings that will remind you that you're human, you're bound to make mistakes, and you're bound to show up in the way that is truly you so that you can grow and evolve. I love that you said that what I used to do is not going to work now. One of the things that I do as a life coach in health and wellness practitioner is I practice on myself. I practice on myself before I take people on group retreats. I go on solo retreats for myself. I recently went on a mental health and wellness sabbatical. I was having a hard time, really hard time. I was overwhelmed, I was stressed out, I was burned out, and I was getting a lot that wasn't allowing for me to pause. So I hit the pause button. Some people call it a reset button, and I booked it and I jetted it and I went to the Caribbean islands. I do happen to have family, friends, and a community there. I was able to build, I was able to add to them, teach some breath courses and everything, but really it allowed for me to be human. I got to slow down, I got to eat my food, digest and enjoy it. I got to separate my mental from emails and calls and responsibilities. It wasn't about what I wasn't able to do and how I wasn't able to perform. And those expectations that I was not meeting, I was able to listen to myself. So sometimes when you're separate from your partner, that's not a time to long for them. Even though it says absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's a time for you to listen, to connect with yourself and say, okay, what am I missing here? Because you've got to show up as the best version of yourself for self first so that it's authentic in your sharing to others. And it's more than your intimate relationship with your spouse or partner. It's also family. It's also friendships. If you're showing up, performing, it's going to get tired. You're going to get tired. They're going to get tired of it, and it's not going to serve you. So I went away for 3 months. I collected myself. I gathered myself. It was the greatest gift I could give. And I'm back. I'm adjusting. But now my rhythm is steady. It's true. It's honest. And I'm more at peace.
I love that. I want to take this opportunity again for all the people just joining in. This is People to People Date Night with Sir Rod and Lady Z, and we have the amazing KAYLA Natural Bee in the studio with us. KAYLA is, when I say she's a breath of fresh air, I want you to take the opportunity to purchase her book. I want you to find, before we get off the air, she's going to tell you how to get in touch with her, because this young lady is a person that you really want to talk to. One time we was watching you, we was doing our podcast and you was doing something and you was on there and you was eating or something. You remember that, Lady Z? And we was trying to watch her at the same time and do ours at the same time, and we was like, this ain't gonna work. So we had to go back and watch it a little later. But what you was doing was so breathtaking. And so again, for many people out there that's trying to find a way to change your lifestyle, excuse me, to you want to find your way to enhance your relationships and stuff like that. You got to get a life coach. You got to seek people who specialize in these areas, and you will find that some of the techniques that they give you really works. And Kayla is one of the individuals who do that. I got to do a shout out to Queen Rachel. Queen Rachel is the one who introduced you to us. Yes. We stole you from her. Cause
we're sharing.
Right. Hey, we didn't. Wait, babe. Hey, when Kayla came, we ain't sent her back yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
but Kayla,
sharing. I love you, Rachel.
Yeah, I much respect.
Much love to you, Rachel. She's it's just community. Like, it takes a village.
Yeah.
It really does take a village. And like I said, you and Lady Z just took me in like your own, like, family. And that's much love.
You know, so all the things that you be talking about, we've been practicing. We some of the things that you had shared with us before. So we don't want people to think that we this perfect couple, because we're not. I have my moments. So I want to say something publicly. We was talking about this. I saw a young lady who I just thought was outrageously gorgeous, right? And I was like, oh my God. So, you know, and I write this and I've said this, and actually I somewhat offended my wife. And so as I was talking to you, I want to say publicly that I didn't mean to, but that's just who I am. I do what I do, right? But she made something clear to me. She said, not all the time when you do it like that, do it comes across like that, so people will perceive it another way. Well, let me say this publicly. I love my wife, okay? I do not like hurting her. And when I do, I'm man enough to stand up and say it. I am who I am. I've always been attracted to beautiful women. I'm a photographer. I'm an artist. I love beautiful things. But guess what? I'm also attracted to beautiful men, and not in no sexual way. I just see them and I be like, dude, that brother look good. Especially
appreciation for beauty. And that's what it is. That's what a true creative and artist does. It's just the appreciation, because you're visionary.
Right.
The vision is what gave people to people breath and life.
But the problem is, and I'm going to say this, and I mean to cut you off, because I want to make something clear.
Yes, go ahead.
Sometimes is not what you say, but how you say it.
Okay.
That's what she explained to me.
Right.
Right? And so, you know, and I had to sit back and drink that cup of tea. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to drink that cup of tea, and I was like, man, she you know, you know, I made it like, so what? No, it's not so what. Mm-hmm. It's me being me, but it's also, I'm still learning. Mm-hmm. I'm still learning. And then relationships, don't ever think that it's just about you. It's not. If I still expect her to cook my food and don't put no poison in it,
she would never do that.
Hey, wait a minute now. You already know it's some people be like, oh, you want to talk about somebody else? How about a little bit of these little pebbles from?
Oh my goodness, no.
I'm not trying to encourage that.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, again, you know, but you keep it real.
And that's why I say my number one was communication. That we are able to lay those things out on the table and discuss it and get better understanding and respect.
Yes.
And guess what? Let me tell you something, fellas, about a woman, right? So now when she come home, I got a lot of making up to do. so look, I got to figure out something. It got to be Valentine's Day.
Time's ticking, baby. Time's ticking. I'll be home tomorrow.
Yeah, look, I got it.
You never know. I may pop up on you.
Oh, hey, you already did it before. But
did it.
but what's really good about it is communication and respect. Mm-hmm. And to a point that sometimes you lose that when you get comfortable in a relationship. You get too comfortable. And we got to realize something. Nobody don't own anyone. You don't own a person, but when you sharing your life, then you have to respect their position, respect their
That's
space.
right. And it's both ways.
And it goes both ways. So sometimes, I forget. So, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I ain't no shame in my game. If I did it wrong, then I did it publicly, and I did it wrong publicly. I come publicly and correct it. And I don't have no problem with that, because this is me growing as an individual, and I want to keep building on the relationship.
Yes.
Because the one thing that I realized when I caught COVID, I had COVID before they had the name for it, right? Guess who laid in the bed with me? She did. Guess who got up and fixed my food? She did. Guess who took my temperature? She did. And when I realized she did all this for me is when I went back and said, something, sometimes it's not just about you, Rodney. It's not just about you. Sometimes it's about us.
It's about us.
And when you do that, it makes a difference. So
that was beautiful.
Yeah. So, a lot of times people in the relationships remember, it's not just about you. It's not just about them. So it is really, when it comes down, it's all about us. And if we do that and we show that love and respect to one another, what we can do is we can overcome anything.
Yes.
So,
Right.
I love that you said it's not just about you, because for single persons, male, female, whatever your sexual orientation, whatever your preference is, oftentimes people become disappointed because their expectations are not met.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it goes back to messaging. We have to be so careful with what you all are from. A generation where life is appreciated. Even in the music, it's about appreciating life. You got Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got the best of the best. I really sympathize for my millennials and for generations younger than me right now, because it is brutal.
Yes.
It's brutal, the messaging in the music. You can't satisfy me. I'm better than you. I'm paid. What do you have to offer me? Match me, match me, match me. I'm a boss. It is not all about you.
Right.
You have to be a giver and a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to meet people where they are. We're all working on ourselves. And if you're not, that's why I'm here as a life coach, so that you can connect with me and start to work on yourself. But you could be making the most amount of money. You could be doing great exploits and not be fulfilled in a person that could be the best thing for you, because you're listening to mixed messages out there and internally. Very small things like journaling is powerful. If you're dealing with something and you write it out, you talk it out, you have a creative outlet, all of these things will bring you closer and closer to being a whole person, so that you're able to share. So that if you go on that date and it didn't quite work out, you don't feel like, oh, I just wasted my time. I just wasted my energy. No, your mindset is, I just learned something. I just grew today. I just exercised a muscle that was a little limp before because I gave it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to step out there and do more. Maybe you lost your loved one. Maybe, I have an aunt that passed recently from an aneurysm. She practically was an angel. It's so hard when we lose good people. It wasn't even COVID. It was during COVID time, but her life was taken from an aneurysm. Her and her husband were like this. Best of friends. Like the relation hashtag relationship goals, the relationship that you would aspire to have and to be. When she passed, he mourned, but in a way that he mourned with joy. He found a creative outlet. Now, this is a man that served in the military. He ended up going into theater and acting and doing all the things that she would do, because she was a beautiful singer, she was creative. He got into theater. He started showing more of those sensibilities, and he embraced a community to heal. Those are the kinds of things that we have to be willing to do for ourselves first, before saying, all right, well, I'm never going to find somebody to match that. Well, what I'm going to do now? Bitterness is never the answer. Again, bitterness is a quick way to cancer. It's not the answer. But
That's right.
I had to say that because, it isn't all about you. The singleness, you've got to work on being whole so that when you share, it's no love lost.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that when you harvest these different emotions inside of you and they're not good energy, that you're creating cancer. You're creating these areas of sickness. And I realized that even with myself because I have a lot of things that's been going on personally in my life with some of my family members and some of my friends and some of my coworkers. And I was letting it really take a real serious toll on me that I found that I was having problems walking. I was having problems sitting up. I was having problems breathing. I was having all kind of issues. And the more and more, so what I did is I fasted for 1 month. Mm-hmm. And I decided during my fast that what I was going to do is I was just going to lean on God. I was just going to lean on God for everything. Every time somebody made me mad, I was going to go to God and say, Father God, you know what? I need your help. I need you to handle this. Every time a bill came in, I couldn't pay it. I just leaned on God. I said, God, I just need you to help me. Actually, it went a little longer than I anticipated, and it was some things that I needed to work on that I just put to the side. And in the process, I came to the reality and found out this. A lot of times that what I was doing, I was bringing all that garbage into myself. I was doing it, and I was allowing people to dump their garbage in me as well. And I got to a point where I started putting the lid on it and said, don't bring it here. Don't dump it on me. And I started to be able to say no because it's not going to benefit me. It's not because I hate you or I don't want to see you happy. It's just that I'm trying to take care of me. And so I went from walking on a cane to now I'm not walking on a cane, and that has something else to do with some other things that I'm doing as well. I'm under doctor's care, and plus I got to throw this in real quick. The X39 patch. We are sponsored by them, nice. So I need to let you know that I was actually I wear the X39 patch. I don't have it on me right now because I had to take it off because I had it on 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So that was my commercial pitch right there. But let me tell you, the one thing that I realized as we was talking about learning how to rest.
Yes,
When you talk about, you said you took that time to go away. Mm-hmm. You look beautiful. When you walked out the door, I was like, oh man, she looks like an angel. I just, your energy, and this, when we were talking and the information you shared with me, it's like, that's what I want to do. And let me tell you something. Me and Zena, we're dealing with things different. Mm-hmm. See, Zena up there panicking, crying, and she be fussing at me because I'm not showing emotion, right? But what she don't know is that my way of dealing with her not being here is ignoring it. That's how I deal with it. It's not because I don't miss her. It's just that I have to block it out because it would destroy me, or I won't be able to sleep. I'm looking. Hey, Lady Z. Let me tell you something. I didn't tell you this. Do you know how I woke up this morning?
I woke you up.
No. You no. You know how I was actually woke when you called. You know how? Let me tell you how I woke up this morning. Guess what I was doing?
What?
Grabbing for you.
Oh.
God sounds truth. I woke up reaching for her.
Oh.
And I realized, when I woke up, I was like, you know something? I realized.
Look, I got Tiff on the line. Hey, Tiff. Hey, Panika. She says, I feel the same way. They say they feel it. They feel it.
Hey, Tiff, if you on the line, let me tell you something, sweetie. I felt it this morning when I woke up that when I grabbed for her, I realized that she's not only a comfort for me when I'm conscious, but she's a comfort for me even when I'm resting.
Come on now.
You feel me?
Wow.
That I reached in my sleep, I was grabbing, and I woke up and it was a pillow.
Wow. Be still my heart.
So again, it's about really we gotta know that inside of us we harvest a lot of things. In order for us to move forward, we got to learn how to release them.
Yes.
And we got to learn how to love self.
Yes.
When we can do that, you'll start to understand the purpose of God. See, I used to always wonder, how was God before he made us? How was he? But God is described the agape love.
Mm-hmm.
That agape love is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even taste it because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't breathe it because it's so powerful. You can't walk on it because it's so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you start to understand it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you start to be able to gravitate toward it.
Yes.
It makes you start to understand our purpose.
Yes.
That's right. That's
So
right.
where I am, and for many, many people, I tell you right now, it's not about me all the time. It's not. But then it is. It's about me being the best I can be so I can be the best for you.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow. Beautiful, baby. Beautiful.
I hope he
That
caught
goes
this.
both ways.
How about that?
I hope he caught that. I have to, before you go forward, that has to sit. It isn't about you, but it is about you at the same time.
Yeah.
It's both. It's both because people have to be a witness to your life.
Yes.
Is it working? Does it work? Show me it works. Are you putting on? You don't have to show. It's not a show.
Right.
It is who you are.
Yes.
And it is how it's transcending. And that work is real. That can't be put on with foundation. That can't be put on with heels. Let me be clear. Look banging all the time, boss babes. But it cannot be put on with man-made things. It has to be agape. It has to be unconditional.
Yeah.
It has to be spiritual. It has to be essence. It has to be life. And it has to bear fruit. Right? It's simple.
Right.
Because if you're in sorrow and pain, you're going to cry. You're going to be angry. You're going to be full of all of these things. But if you are at peace and contentment, you're going to laugh. You're going to smile.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have joy. That is the human experience. And so you pouring into yourself is people being a witness to how God is and how God can work for them.
I want you to put the camera back on Kayla for a minute. Now, you see where it says, when you feel like quitting, think about why you started. You see that? I want to say that even in your relationship. Think about it. See, a lot of us, when we get in relationships, what happens? If we forget why we went there in the first place. Mm-hmm. See, that's what caused the relationships to go bad. You forget. I forgot. Let me tell you something. I didn't have a big stomach when Zena met me. We done picked our way, both of us together, right? And I thought about that, because one time she called me. Can I go ahead and tell them what you called me when you was messing with me? Huh?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, keep it between y'all. Don't tell it all.
No, because I'm going to tell you, I bet not say it, because if somebody else called me that, we might be fighting in the street. But she saw the change,
Yeah.
right? And she said something, and we laughed about it. And we laugh about it, right? But the fact is that you got to remember in the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
And let me tell you some of the things that I remember. How polite she was. I remember her walk. I remember her smile. I remember how she liked when I did the poetry. I remember when she offered me to eat out her plate, and I was just trying to introduce myself to her. I mean, all of those things were powerful for me, and when I forget about that, is when I treat her bad. When I forget why I looked at her when she walked in. We met at a cabaret. She walked in the door. I said, excuse my language, but I got to, babe, I'm going to say it the way I said it.
Say it, baby. Say it.
God damn. Who is that? That's what I said to my partner that was sitting there with me. I said, God damn, who is that? I said, oh, hell no, I got to meet her. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I sat for 2 hours maybe a little longer, waiting to be able to put myself in that position. So sometimes what I have to do is I have to go all the way back to that first day.
Yes.
I have to go all the way back to that first day and get past the fact that she be fussing at me because I throw my stuff on the floor. Because I cook a little different from the way she does. Certain things that I don't do, that I'm a flirtatious type man. And then she gets on me about it all the time. Trying to teach me how to communicate. These things I didn't know. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just talking about the things that in the relationship that you have to focus on and remember how you started. Because how you started is how you can end.
Yes, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Right? How you start is how you can end. So, many people who just joining in, let me tell you something. It's all about giving. It takes a village. It takes us to come together. It takes us to put ourselves in a position where we're not being selfish and definitely showing love, communication, and respect. And this ain't just in the talk about a physical relationship with somebody who's having physical contact. I'm talking about this is for sisters and brothers, for mothers and sons and daughters, fathers and daughters, and brothers and sisters. I'm talking about us all. Get into the relationships. You got to understand. I'm God forgive me. I'm throwing this out there, but I got some people, man, that I love them. I love them, and they know who I am. They know I love hard, but they want to be mad with me. They want to be mad with me. Well, really, you ain't mad with me. You mad with yourself, because I'm still who I am.
Those are cycles that people are unable to break. And that's why holistic health is different from just joining a fitness program. When you isolate, like, oh, I don't like when I look in the mirror, I see this, I'm going to stop that and I'm going to just diet. Or I'm going to just focus on the physical. Or I'm going to just focus on the money. Holistic means the whole thing. Every aspect, every element of the I am, of who you are at the center and core. So when you see something or you experience something, it's not going to trigger you or knock you off and cause you to blame and regress. It's going to recreate a cycle so that you can break old ones. And I love what you said about relationships returning to that first day, the first moment. When you decide to go on a journey, it's like a rebirth. You have to make the decision, and you do need support, and you really do need the faculties. And I'm not just saying this to sell myself as a life coach. I'm saying it. You have to have a very clear point in your mind of transition. I know I'm no longer doing those things because that's not who I am. I'm going towards the agape. I'm going towards the unconditional. I'm going towards the I am that I really, truly am meant to be. That rebirth you can always return to when you start to fall off, so that you stay away from blame or bitterness towards others, and you just return and say, but this is what I committed to. This is who I really am. And when you see things in your partner, you also say, oh yeah, I recognize that in you because that's who you really are, or that's not who you really are. You always got to go back to that first point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. One of the things also I want people to be conscious of, when a person show you who they are, believe them.
Ta-da!
So let me tell you something. If the person always lying, and they was lying when they first met you, they lie. They're gonna be lying throughout the whole relationship. If a person is sleeping around on you, and I mean literally doing that, they're gonna do it the whole time. But if a person come to you unconditionally, and this is why, let me tell you some of the things that this. I'm a very flirtatious guy, but I'm going to tell you what I did. When I first met Xenia, I came to her honestly. I did. I let her know some things, personal things about me immediately, because I said I wanted to build this relationship off of trust. So she had to teach me some of this stuff. I still got issues I deal with, but she had to teach me. And I had to be willing to learn. See, it's not a one-sided thing. Yeah. Because I'm teaching her some things too. Yeah. And in the process of doing this, that's where it comes in and it says, it's not just about me, it's not just about you, but it is about us. And then I put in there, in God we trust. Because when I put God in it, I cannot lose. You know? So how much time we got, baby girl over there? Is the music playing yet?
No, I was going to ask if we could go 15 minutes over.
Oh, can we? Yeah.
Let's get some feedback.
Oh, I love that. Hey, see, I like when baby girl feeling like that. That is so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go extra. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was wondering if there are any comments or feedback from anyone out there, or, you know, is any of this resonating with you as you're tuning in with us?
Let me get a number. The number is 703-752-6120. So if there's someone out there that want to call in and add in the conversation, please feel free to do so. Let me tell you that this was just an amazing date night. I mean, we want to do this more often because we want it to be where people are realizing that it's not just about eating and going to the movies and getting, you know, cozy. Mm-hmm. It's about developing mentally.
Yeah.
You know, you got to learn how to date.
Yes.
You got to learn how to date someone. Most of us, you know the reason why I don't like Valentine's Day? Because most of the time on Valentine's Day, most of the time, certain people use it to get close to people because they just want a physical contact. Mm-hmm. They don't want to get to know the person. Or they come and bring you flowers, candy, and everything, but what is their real agenda? Mm-hmm. But if you really about that, you'll be bringing the flowers and candy and all that before that February 14th. You feel me?
Yeah.
And a lot of people use that. We get so caught up in man-made holidays and things of that nature, we forget about the real purpose of relationships, of family, understanding, preaching, teaching, loving. I tell people many times, yo, I am not a teacher nor a preacher. I'm just a motivational speaker. And the reason why I claim that title is because I like to motivate people, right? Now, you know, it's many of us out there that do that. You are one of those individuals. You always motivating. Every time we are in your presence. Again, I want to take this opportunity to tell y'all need to, no, not me. I don't want to put the camera back on her. Tell them how to get in touch with you because you are phenomenal. And they need to have special one-on-ones with you.
Y'all connect with me. So you can visit me on beebody.com. That's Beebody. It's my website. There you can find information about my upcoming wellness retreat. This year we're going to Grenada, and actually I'm holding my very first interest meeting on Monday. So join us at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you have questions, if you want to travel, it's going to be an intimate group of us. It's going to be inclusive, all-inclusive, plant-based meals, relaxation, holisticism, workshops, sunrise meditations, you name it. Recharge and restore and renew to come back home, just who you are. But yes, on my website, I'm on all the platforms. Facebook, same thing, Beebody. Instagram, Beebody. TikTok, I have a lot of fun on TikTok. I actually rap on TikTok and I sing on TikTok, so check that out. YouTube, be sure to follow me on YouTube. I've got some new videos coming out for you about how to start your holistic journey, why you should, and also a podcast. I have a special upcoming speaker that's going to be joining us, actually a professional dancer, super athlete, and flipping the script on y'all, because sometimes people think when you look at someone that looks toned and fit that everything is just checked out, but actually she had some hardships and she's going to be sharing that, and that's the journey. So as for my ebook, you can purchase it. Remember, you get a free class with it, a free class. No obligation, download it, it's all yours, enjoy anytime, every time. And then the ebook comes with a short film, 45 minutes long, demonstrations on breathwork, movement, you name it. Free yourself, boss babe, you deserve it, at everydaywellness.today, just like it sounds and just like it's spelled.
And how much it costs?
It's $25.
And $25, man, let me tell you something. People get that to people just sometimes just, yeah, I mean, you think about $25 in this day and time is nothing. So I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. What I'm saying is that let's bless this young lady and definitely do that. And definitely reach out. See, what we got to do is we got to continue to do so. We got to keep help building each other.
Yes.
Also, you know, I'm going to throw it. She throwing hers in. I'm going to throw the Cash App in there for people to people, which is the $ RG 1960. Again, there's many people who have been supporting this program, and we support each other. So just like that, what I want to do is this, and I want to be a man of my word as we move forth, because I want you, if I haven't purchased this within the next 30 days, please, you got to call me and remind me.
I'm calling.
Because it's not about me just putting my hand out. I got to give too. So I definitely want to do that. You got something to say, babe?
Oh no, I'm just listening. I'm excited. I think her seat should stay there where she's at.
I know. I would love, man. You know what? I would love for her to become. Man, you should.
She would be amazing.
You
oh
should
my goodness.
think about being my co-host.
Okay.
You know.
I love it.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, you are phenomenal, and you got so much to bring to the table. So that I said it publicly. You know.
Well, I will be back. I will be back.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I will be back as many as times and as much as I can, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah, I actually what I would like to do is sometime for you just to come and sit in the seat by yourself and go ahead and talk and do what you do.
Yes.
So all you got to do is we can make that happen anytime.
Okay.
And that's that's a gift that I would give to you to try to help empower you so that you can come and sit in on this platform and utilize it and make it work. You know, remember to go to YouTube. You go to YouTube, you can put in Rodney Grimes, put in my name, subscribe. Help us build, because let me tell you something. This is not about just, it's more than one brick to make the building. Now, just think about that. It's take more than one brick. And each one of us bring a brick. And after a while, we build the building and we put a door and some windows on it. Now we go in and we can come in and become a congregation, a process of working together. Say, maybe you need to use the building this day. Okay, then we come in there and help Kayla bring all her product in, and then everybody say, yo, Kayla is up in the building. Did we put together? Go ahead.
I follow beyond the holiday time the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, which is made for Black and African American people. One of my favorites is Kujichagulia, which is collective work and responsibility. It takes everyone, and when we all pull together our strengths and our gifts and we share that, it is a foundation and an ecosystem that cannot be broken. It can't be broken, but it takes the collective. And when we have this individual mindset, all about me and not about we, as Rodney says, people to people, then we fall off.
Mm-hmm.
We fall off. We feel like victims. We feel unsupported. We feel like a loner. We start reaching out in spaces where we don't have branches and connection because we broke off the connection that we had. So I don't know who this is for, but I want to encourage somebody. Maybe you have recently been hurt or disappointed. I want to encourage you to forgive. I want to encourage you to stay linked and connected to community. And I want you to not resent any form of giving, whether it was by act of service or financial, to that particular community, because it was meant to be. There are certain things that are beyond our control, and that's why this thing is spiritual, holistic, once again. If you ever and when you do give to the Rodney Grimes Show, know that your money is a part of a love offering that continues to transcend. It's visible, it's tangible, and it's always going to be. So that I had to say those two things: reconnect and forgive. And if you're considering giving and you haven't yet to this platform, without delay, please do so.
Thank you so much. Again, we got 5 minutes. Okay. Again, this is an opportunity for us to really utilize your skills. Kayla, you are a phenomenal young lady. your gift to sharing and knowledge is so much needed, especially in this day and time. We have a lot of people got caught up in the pandemic. They forgot how to love. They forgot how to treat themselves. They forgot how to live. We got to a point that actually, did you know when the pandemic came, prior to that, when we used to see each other, we used to hug each other, right? But now people don't do that. Now people, when you see each other, you look at each other, you be like, yay, you know, you put an elbow up. But we done got to a point where we pulling away. We got to reconnect. We got to figure a way to do it. And now it's, okay, if it's not going to be physical, make sure that it's spiritual.
Yeah.
Make sure that we're supporting one another. Let's get past it, because see, what you practice and do over 21 days become a habit.
Yeah, that is. That is.
So if you're not hugging somebody for 21 days, after a while, you get used to not doing it.
Yep.
And then you forget what it feels like. If you're not saying, I apologize to you over 21 days, after a while, you forget how to say it.
Yeah.
We got to get to a point where we remember about giving and not just taking.
Yes.
And we got to remember this. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. That means you and me. If I see the bag bust and your groceries fall out, why should I just walk by? I should say, excuse me, but let me help you. You know, especially if you're my neighbor or you're my family member. And what you said, forgiveness is a powerful, powerful word. And it brings so much to the table. For everybody to just join in with us, it's People to People with Rodney Grimes. My guest today is the phenomenal Miss KAYLA Natural Bee. Let me tell you something. This lady is naturally blessed. Also, I got Lady Z on the phone, and we got the baby girl over there working the board like always. And we kudos to her.
I miss you, baby girl. I miss you. Thank you for holding it down, girl. You're amazing.
Yeah, Maya is, you know, we're really trying to be consistent. And let me tell y'all something. When y'all send donations in, and especially if you send a nice amount, guess what? It's not going to just go to furniture. Sometimes I just give it to her. I give it to her. She comes in on her own time. And we working. We're a nonprofit. We're trying to get ourselves where we're going to make this thing represent us in the DMV. So please don't be hesitant to support the program. And if you want to come in and you want to see the place, it's 1934 Old Gallows Road, Suite 304. Remember, we're here at the Intelligence Building. These individuals here are opening up opportunities for people to have office space, to come in here. We got the studio here that you can actually do the marketing. You can actually also come in and learn how to work the equipment and become a part of the process. And again, remember when we have individuals like KAYLA in the studio, KAYLA brings so much to the table. She's a phenomenal individual whom you want to go on YouTube. You want to follow her on Twitter. You want to follow her on TikTok. You want to follow her on all of her platforms, because I'm going to tell you something. You're going to get a treat out of her. Sometimes I tell you, when I sit back and watch you, I just be like, you know what? If I had 20, now see, I might get in trouble when I say this, but if I had 20 daughters like you, I'll be one hell of a king. You know, I mean, I don't mean that, you know, I'm just saying because you're just the epitome of what, you know, I would be walking around with my chest pumped out saying she came from me. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, 2 minutes. So, KAYLA, you got the last 2 minutes. I'm up here running my mouth. Give it to him. Talk to him.
Wow. There's so much I want to say. I was trying to think about which one of my TikToks I wanted to share with you all. Maybe if I was going to perform a little bit, I don't know.
I want to sing to me.
Oh my goodness. There's just only one way to know that we are doing all right. Just take some time, relax and unwind and free our minds. I know you've been scrolling. I know that TikTok, Instagram, you've been doing and trolling, but sis, it's alright. And bruh, you just might release that shoulder tension in your left and your right. Just take an hour, mark your calendar and breathe. Tell your friend and them, I'm clocking out for me. Oh yes, I'm sleep, and yes, I'm deep. and meditation, because elevation ain't speed.
Come on, that's KAYLA Bee. Thank you, and we love y'all. And remember, it's Motivation Monday.
Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes.
With Sir Rodney, Lady Z. Thank you, and we give honor and praise.
Love you. Thank you, KAYLA. I love you.
Yes.
Thank
Love
you so much.
Yes. Peace and love.
Why? I love you too, baby.
Hey, I love you too. Hey, hurry up home,
I'll
man.
see you